Hey guys, Kelly here. Today was such a beautiful day. I thought I'd record this outside. My beautiful bushes are blooming. It's definitely spring where I am. Stay tuned to hear hopefully all new teacher questions answered today. Let's talk about stars. When I went through the process, I didn't really hear about stars. I just happened to come across stars when I was looking in Facebook groups or eventually once I became a teacher and made it on the Hutong, then I eventually found out about these stars. Thankfully, I heard about them before my actual first class. But the stars, it's different in each classroom, but the stars are generally at the top. If you're in the older classroom, they are the top left and they're lined out. But in the newer classroom, in this weird hybrid I've been seeing lately, it is one star and you hit it 5 times and it kind of keeps count. Now those stars the students can use to buy things for their avatar and play little games and things like that. So it's really important. They really look for those stars, and you can give them out in different ways. Sometimes I give them every 5 minutes, kind of help me keep pacing. I especially did that in the beginning. But you can also do it any way you want. If a student is a little bit distracted, then I will sometimes try and get their attention again, and the second they do what I want, I give them a star. So they might get 2 stars pretty close together, and then I'll hold off, and kind of pace it back out. So that's what stars are all about. All right, so let's talk about the classroom itself. If you don't have a class on your schedule yet, then you might hear this old classroom, new classroom, what is all this stuff? They transitioned to this new classroom, which at first I was a little skeptical about, but I really enjoy it now. The new classroom, it puts the video of you and the student side by side at the top. In the older classroom, it was kind of in the middle of the screen, and it was the student and teacher, and then the slides were next to it. But now you're above the slides in the new classroom. And in that new classroom, the stars are 1, as I mentioned earlier. And there's a new thumbs up feature that you can click. If you're like, I don't want to give a star just yet, then you can give a thumbs up. But in the newer classroom, there are some AR stickers. And AR stickers are, if you want to make your face look like a pig or Spider-Man or something like that, you have that ability in the new classroom. You do not have the thumbs up feature or the AR stickers in the old format. Now, if you're having trouble before class starts, there is a little circle with headphones on it. I usually use my phone if I'm not in the class yet and I'm having some issues getting into the class, which I have not had a problem with yet, or some other type of issue that for some reason, there was one class it would not let me choose the contact fireman button, so I went on my phone and used that, and then it was taken care of. But typically their first response, no, not every time, but most of the firemen's typical response is just to switch the classrooms before they even look and see what's going on. Because a lot of times switching to the old classroom does fix the student's problem and possibly your problem, or whatever the problem happens to be. So they'll do what's called switch lines. That is to the left of the fireman, I believe, on the top, and it is it's different line numbers if you're in the old classroom and the new classroom, but there are different lines that you can try, and you can test what is called your ping on those. If you're in the new classroom, in the teacher window, there is you'll see your microphone, which the little waves, but then right next to that is, I think, some more waves. I don't remember what the icon looks exactly, but it'll have a number. As long as that number is green, you are golden. If it is not, if it is orangish, reddish, or definitely red, then your ping is too high. And you can fix that yourself without having to call the fireman. You can just click online you'll get a drop-down menu of other line choices. You can click on it. It'll switch the whole, you'll stay in the new classroom, but it'll switch, like it'll reload the slides, the video, and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes that helps. Sometimes it makes it worse. So you just kind of gotta, like, whoops, let's go back to that one. Even if you try them all, like pick the least worst one. It works the same in the old. All right, so let's talk. You're in your class. Maybe it's not your first class, but it's the first few classes. This has never happened before. No student has shown up. The time has started and there is no student. What do I do? Do I contact the fireman? Do I stay in the class? What do I do? On these types of questions, always go to the support center and double check what I tell you, what anybody tells you. Because it could, one, update since I put this video out. It could be updating right now while I'm making the video. But if it is a trial class, you'll know if it's a trial class because it'll have the T in the name of the lesson. If it is a trial class, you will stay 15 minutes. At the end of 15 minutes, you can log out. While you're in there waiting for that 15 minutes to tick off, leave your camera open. There's some debate about that, and there's some people that cover or put a picture or set up a teddy bear. You just need proof that you were in there. Roughly every 5 minutes, you want to take your picture, like smile, take a picture, and to prove that you were there, in case there are any questions about you being in the classroom. Now, for a trial class, when that 15 minutes is up, what I typically do, well, really I do it every 5 minutes. I don't know if this part is necessary. It's probably overkill. But in the chat box, I start off with waiting for student, and then I take a picture. And then about 5 minutes, I'll take another picture and still waiting for student or still no student, and do that until I get to the 15-minute mark. Once the 15-minute mark hits, I type in, it has been 15 minutes, student has not shown up, goodbye. And then I click finish and exit the classroom. I always screenshot that so that I make sure and have that as proof as well. Screenshot, 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 screenshot. If you're having IT issues, screenshots. If they're doing something with the students and you're kind of waiting, take a screenshot. Okay, learn how to check the ping in there in the old classroom, which if you have a question about, I will answer. The new classroom, it's up in the corner. Screenshot, screenshot, screenshot. Always screenshot. You might not need it, but what if you do? Then you've got the proof that it wasn't you or that you were in the classroom. It's not a teacher no-show. I am definitely in that classroom. I don't know where the student was, because in the student window it'll say no student. So you'll have your proof. If it is a major course, it'll have MC, major course. If it is a major course class, you must stay 25 minutes. You don't get to leave early. Stay 25. Do the same procedure. Screenshot, if you want to type in the chat box, go ahead. Do it every 5 minutes until you get to 25 minutes. 25 minutes, I usually type 25 minutes, been here, still no student, and goodbye. Finish and log out. If it is a student no-show, you do not have to do the feedback. However, if for whatever reason, you are done working for the day and you're like, that was a student no-show, but it's still asking you for the feedback, go into the feedback. I mark everybody good if it's a student no-show, and then I just put missed bow in class today, look for you in the next class, or can't wait to see you, or whatever it was. That way the feedback is taken care of, because remember, if you don't do your feedback, you don't get paid for that class, regardless if it was a student no-show or not. Now, if it is already marked student no-show, you won't have the option to leave feedback, and that's okay. You don't have to. But if the option is still there, just cover yourself, fill it out real quick, and be like, missed you, see you next. All right, so let's talk about feedback. feedback is what is seen by the parent, and it is what you tell the parent about class. Now, ideally, you want to tell them what they did well on and what they need to work on. It doesn't have to be long. There are lots of options out there that you can do. There's Feedback Panda, which is a wonderful option. It helps you save all of your students and their information and save their feedback. But it is a paid program. You do get a free trial, so you can try it out for, I believe it's a month. And then if you like it, then you can, opt in. And if you don't, then you can just stop using it. If you aren't interested in that, they're in the Google Slide group. There is a planner, which is amazing. If you've watched any of my other videos, I talk about it quite a bit. It is like an all-in-one. You can use parts of it or all of it. It's just absolutely amazing, and it just keeps getting better and better and better. You really do need to go check it out. But within that planner is a tab that is for feedback. Now, it has templates just like Feedback Panda, where it has a template that you can just edit and change and put your name on. A lot of those templates have, it just kind of recaps the class, and then you can add and change things. If that's the way you want to do feedback, you are absolutely welcome to do that. As a parent, basically all I want to know is what are they doing good in, and what do I need to change? Kind of like a report card. Not really give a grade, but I just mean like blends really well. So I expanded and gave them a little more challenging words, or give them more to read in the word families to see if they could apply it outside of the courseware. And then also if they need to work on something. Today one of my students needed to work on the eh sound. She was pronouncing it closer to the I sound. You don't necessarily want them practicing pronunciation at home, because they may not have someone in the house that speaks English well enough to help them learn it correctly. So my suggestion to her was to go back and watch the class again, and so that we could really practice that. But I wanted mom and dad to know in the feedback why I spent so much time on that in the class. I still made it to all the slides. She did well here. She just struggled with this one letter sound. She generally did great with everything else. Signed off. See you in the next class. Now, if you are just struggling as to, I just really need some help with feedback, again, Feedback Panda has wonderful templates. Google Slides also has templates, or you can create your own in both of those and save your own template. So it's still programs you can use and still it be you. I recently discovered Ed Nace, I hope I say his name right, feedback book. I will link it in the description box. He's got two versions, a smaller version and then an expanded version. I went ahead and got the expanded version, and I do not regret it. I have read it cover to cover, but it is quite a bit of information. If you get the PDF version, then you can Control Find or whatever it is on your computer, but you can search it and find what you need on a specific issue you might be having in the classroom, whether it's a good issue or a bad issue. Like, is absolutely amazing in this area. How do I say that to parents? But he has some wonderful information that once you get going, you might be able to do it in between classes. I'm not quite, I can get it written. I keep up a Google Docs in the background and type information in it, but I just can't seem to type it and then submit it in that time frame. But I can get it mostly typed up in between the classes, so that when all of my classes are over, I usually do between 7 and 8 classes in the mornings, then it just takes me, I don't know, I've never timed it, but just a few minutes to go and click through each of the classes, click on feedback, copy and paste, put in the rest of the information, and then I'm done. I'm done for the day, and then I can start setting up for the next day.